Nice, 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 nice. Do you want me to? I don't have to be on call with you. I just wondered if you wanted to be. I can share my screen and that. And if you're playing a game or whatever, don't worry. But if I have someone here, then it doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself. Because I'm not trading, because it's a bad day for it. But I'm gonna tape read. Just locked out both accounts because I ain't trading. What, my screen? Yeah, no, these are the colors that I use. Yeah. It's really easy for me to see. Like all the lines being white. It's just way better for me to see it. Um, I was listening to some Juice WRLD freestyles earlier, and I was like, I couldn't stop. It's really good. It is really good. He he was a goat. He was an actual goat. Right. So um, open, which is in 1 minute. You know what? I'm gonna close my fucking window because I really don't like the sound. I really don't like hearing. All right. In in less than a minute, I am anticipating price to kind of run up to there. Um, at open. It's not like a trade setup. It's just what I'm reading. It's gonna do because there's this divergence here, and it's already heading towards London's high and midnight open. I haven't drawn 8:30 open. Where's that? That's there. So I think it will just run up. I don't have any any idea what it's going to do today. That's why I'm just here reading it. And it looks like the regular trading hours gap's gonna be from 870 to 820, like 50 points, which is a decent size. When I say regular trading hours, I mean like when you do this, um, it cuts out the overnight trading. So this is like 4 o'clock and this is 9 o'clock. Um, yeah. Um, all of these lines though, like this is the midnight opening price. This is just REH means relative equal highs. Like these highs are just, to me, they look too smooth. So just tag them RTH. This is the high from Asia session. This is the high from London session. This is the low from London session, and it hasn't taken it out, but the S&P has it took out this low, made a little divergence. Anyway, this is 9:30 open now. I can draw the RTH low, so that's that. The chart's much cleaner with the colors in it since what I used to have. Yeah, and you can even mark out the middle line of that. So here, so it should. I'm mainly expecting it to just take out London High and react off here, and then we'll see what it does. This is the 15-minute chart, by the way. That's that. That's that. Cool. I need that and uh, group it. RTGH. I'm dyspraxic. So now I can make them disappear. Yeah, cool. This is great. Since I started using this object tree, things don't get so messy. Uh, yeah, This new week opening gap. Another reason why I expect it to draw. And then this purple line is the midpoint between this new week and this new day opening gap. So like, see how I blended those ideas where it's like we've got London's high waiting to be tagged. We've got the SMT divergence here. We've got the midpoint of the regular trading hours gap, which has now just been tagged. I got rid of it, but it was here, and we got midnight open and this new week as like a magnet, as a draw. Um, and that's not necessarily me demanding that these highs get taken, because like I wouldn't really do that unless like I've seen a sweep here. This I wouldn't, but you can have general ideas like, okay, I think it's gonna run here. There was probably a setup in that, like. Here, 9:30 opens, and then you retrace a little bit, and you expect this gap to stay open, and then you could have gone long, but there's I don't trade like that. I'm gonna set up my chart to be 5 minute and 1 minute. That's how I read price. I have the 5 minute open and the 1 minute. Obviously, it just did exactly what I said because I've been doing this shit for a while. Uh, really, really have. I'm like. So this is 1 minute, this is 5 minute. Um, this is our first presentation fair value gap. So it's like the first gap to appear at 9:30 open. It's not this one. So there's a little gap between these two bodies. So instead of doing it from here to here, I do it from here to here. And it's not this gap because this candle is 9:30, this one's 9:31, and this one's 9:29. So if I go to regular trading hours, that that gap, the 9:29 candle doesn't show up because it's regular trading hours. So that's not that's not the first presentation because it's not visible on the extended trading hours. So it's this one. Um, looks like it wants to run to Asia high, midnight open. So I have a model I call the OPL model, which is OP is opening price and L is liquidity. So let's make this cleaner. There we go. So this is all the OPL. It's the SMT. I'll get rid of that. Where we've got Asia session liquidity, London session liquidity, London session liquidity here. This is so all of this range is the Asia session, and I just mark it out, and then these are like projections. Like this is duplicating it lower, duplicating it higher, like standard deviations. They're just sort of there. They sometimes line up with certain targets I have. It's extra confluence. Um, but what I do is I look on the 15 minute. I have a daily objective, like an idea usually, of where it's going to go on the daily. That's why I have this one day. These are just daily levels. Um, but anyway, so if I say like I'm looking for longs, I have like a daily target to draw to, then from midnight open and 8:30 open, ideally, if I can get along below both of them, that's a really good trade. If I can get along below one of them, that's a somewhat decent trade. So in this instance, we only had along, say like from this as a fair value gap, we're above 8:30, but we're below midnight. So we're still in discount relative to midnight open, but we are above 8:30. The best trades happen below, like well below both opening prices. So if I'm bullish, and I'm below midnight open and 8:30 open, and we've say taken out London low, um, usually that's a really good long. This red line is just the midpoint from this low to that high. It's like a range. So the reason why we didn't take out London low is because we'd already rebalanced the range anyway, and then we created that SMT here. So I didn't anticipate. That's why I said at open I think it's going to run higher because we've already gone below discount of this whole range, and there's a divergence between these two lows. So it I'm not going to demand that it takes London low. It could later on. I have no draw today, that's why I'm not trading. We're just tape reading. But my opening price liquidity like system as a model, it just sort of helps filter out like because it's easy, right? Like I'm only going to look for longs if I'm below the opening prices. I'm only going to look for shorts if I'm above the opening prices. Um, you can see Nasdaq is technically stronger than the S&P. These are the highs, these are the same highs on the other asset. They both haven't been taken out, but the Nasdaq just looks, it generally looks stronger. And you can imagine it's the one that made the higher low, whereas this made the lower low, and it is the one that was stronger. Um, Now I'll go back to the 5 minute. Let's see if we can like, we're not trading, but let's see if by watching price we can frame some sort of setup. So London high was taken. What I can do to make that obvious is I can grey it out. So London high has been taken. We've ran back now into the first presentation. So we see how it reacts here. If it were to completely close underneath that, what would that be? I used to trade inversion fair value gaps all the time, right? But we're still below midnight open, so we may want to take midnight open, take these relative equal highs. Um, we're inside that new week opening gap, but it may want to take out these highs. And if I see like Nasdaq take some highs, but there's an SMT, so like say the S&P stays here, but Nasdaq takes out all of this, and then we come down and close below this, that would essentially that would be a short setup because like at that point we're above 8:30 open. You can also mark out 9:30 open. That is so 8:30 midnight and 9:30 and sometimes 10 o'clock opening prices I use, but say like we take out these highs, we take out Asia session high, maybe take out this high, but then we start to roll over, and the S&P fails to take any of them. And then we come below this, close below this first presentation. I'd imagine that that first presentation would be used to send us back below 8:30 open down to London's low. Um, but that idea has to be supported by like some sort of higher time frame confluence. So like why would it want to take out London's low? Like is it bearish or is it a bullish day? Like if you're on the daily, everything's hyper bullish at the moment. Um, we've already opened, come down, rebalanced this daily wick, and have come higher. Um, so there's no real demand for it to go lower. I'll get up my daily levels. What have I got on the daily? I've just marked out this wick, so we got quarters of it, and then we got the midpoint. So we came down, reacted off the midpoint of this wick, and are now coming back above. So to me, I imagine price is just going to be like trending up all day. It's already done the work of like these are the same quarter levels, but on the 15 minute it's come down. That's another reason why I expect it to rally at 9:30 because it was also coming off of the midpoint of that wick. So it all like layers together. Um, and you can make it way more simple than that as well. It doesn't actually have to be that complicated. The OPL is as simple as it gets, really. Like, is midnight, is 9:30, 8:30 should be there too. I don't think 8:30 is on my OPL. I think it's on. I think it's this one. Yeah. Can I put it in? Sometimes it doesn't let me. No. I the app's a bit fucked. Like it should be able to let me drag that and put it into my OPL, but it won't. So I can just make OPL 2. The only reason I ever number them is because of that glitch. It's not because of anything to do with a system or a model. So look at this. We've got a high and a higher high, and here we got a high and a lower high, and the S&P is breaking down. If we, there's your first presentation. And if there's a trade set up, I can demo trade on TradingView. So I'll just bring up MNQ. And I'm going to do this without looking at anything else as well. Like I also usually look at the dollar index and all sorts, but I'm going to keep it simple. Um, but like I said, if price were to take out London high, create an SMT. So here's London high on Nasdaq, taken out. London high on the S&P, not taken out. So it's created an SMT because it's made a higher high from London's high to this high. Here. but on the S&P, it hasn't done that. So there's a sign of weakness in the S&P. So now I may want to um, take a trade if we close below this, which as you can see, it's looking like it's doing it. This down close candle. Another thing, as it was coming up and we had this down close and then we were coming back up, and I said, if we were to break down below this, I knew that this down close would then become a breaker because that's what it is, like up, down, up, down. You don't need to know breakers. They'd confuse the hell out of me for like a year and a half, but this plus this, that's three PD arrays. You've got the first presentation acting as inversion, you got the breaker block there, and then you got this gap here. All three of those would support a short position. You could enter short here, and your stop would go there. And your take profit would probably be at London low, um, like there. But like, it's like all these lows are really smooth. Here, they're really smooth. And what's good is like at market open, we rallied higher. So now people are long. People are trying to go long. People are trying to chase price. And that's what it does. You know about Judas swing? I might have told you back in the day. Like a fake move. So Judas swing. Judas was a liar, right? So, or like a Judas goat. Um, yeah. Now, if I just get rid of this for now, because I know where it is, it's from here to here. I don't need to delete it. What am I talking about? Oh no. Oh, I started pressing buttons and I ruined everything. Now I can't group those back into OPL. Anyway, I didn't want that mark like messing up my chart. This is the 5 minute. So while that 1 minute first presentation, which was here, was it there? Yeah, it's actually that big. Okay. It looks like it was being used as inversion, but there's a certain element of like patience. You got to have more things to like trigger you to get in because the body stopped right at the low of the gap, didn't close below, and all the while that was happening, this is the 5 minute. They're the same chart, just this 1 minute, this is 5 minute. The 5 minute was coming into this gap and it hadn't also, made that an inversion. So even though it looked like it was going to use this, it could use this lower gap and the 5 minute gap to send it higher. So I need the 5 minute and the 1 minute to kind of pair up, if you know what I mean. So I would really require that the body of that candle closed below there. So I know that this is now an inversion on the 5 minute. It's using the first presentation to send price lower. But now, as you can see, it seems, I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying it seems like, say we had entered, it would be running towards our stop by now. Our stop would be around about here. Um, so we'll keep watching. And the thing is like, I don't have a bias or anything, but the reason why I would have taken a short there if I were trading is because we're above 8:30 open and the liquidity is at London low. Like I said, like when you know what opening prices and liquidity to use, it becomes a lot more easy. London high was taken. Here's London low. I've also completely forgotten about. There's a really simple model I use, pretty much like ATM. So the pre-market session is from 7 a.m. until obviously like 9:29, like right before market open. So what I do is I mark out the lowest low between 7 and 9:29. The lowest low is there, which is your pre-market low. We'll just label it ATM low. And then our pre-market high was like, was it this one? Yeah. So there. So we don't even need to mark that out. We know it's been taken. So the pre-market high was swept. So like then you look for shorts to the pre-market low, pretty much. Like that's the easiest it gets is like let's get like a brush. It's like this. Pre-market high, pre-market low, 9:30 opens, takes both, takes the high, then you find a short position, put your stop there, and then ride it down to the pre-market low. And that's why it's like an ATM because it's really quite easy to do that. It doesn't work every day, and you need to be able to blend certain concepts, but it works a lot of the time. Um, and then you can blend that with the opening prices as well. Like it took pre-market high, and it's on its way to pre-market low, and it's below. It's above all the opening prices, and like say London liquidity is like smooth equal lows. Then you're just like, okay, this is an A plus setup. I just need to wait for an inversion or a breaker or whatever your entry model is. But you just need to be able to wait and let price move as well. Like, you know, I take like one trade, um, one trade a day. It says three because it's like I take partials. I'm going to show you something, right? Watch this. This was I'm going to show you a video from Friday's trade, right? You're going to be like, I want to know how would you have reacted if you spent 40 minutes watching price, then you enter. So I enter short here at 45 past on the recording and 18 minutes past 10 a.m. Right? My stop loss is here, and then price comes all the way here, look, that close to my stop. But I know that it won't take that out if I'm right. Okay. So I don't care. I could have had a better entry, but regardless, right? I'm watching price. It almost stops me out. Then starts delivering in my favor. So now I'm green. I've lowered my stop to that high. My take profit is here, $200. Watch what it does. Right? Okay, look, it looks like I'm going to win this trade, right? This is a good trade. Oh, look, he's done it. He's gone break even. I had to go break even because there's a SMT at the lows, which could send it higher. And I'm just seeing, all right, how low would it be to take 100 profit? Anyway, look at this is the most annoying thing that's ever happened to me. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, I'm going to win. Bro, price stops me out break even. Look at how close it got to my to my take profit. It was 1.25 points away, and then it stopped me out break even. And I just put in my journal like, all right, that was a really good day. I followed rules, and yeah, like onwards to the next. And that's why on here it says like I made 78 cents on Friday because I was up 200, but it just missed my take profit. And then ICT posted a video saying when you're in like all-time high conditions, if you have to take a short, have your target like not at the low, but like slightly above it, because sometimes it will just miss it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I know. And it's like, it's kind of good when annoying things happen because if something is like annoying, then it becomes like easy to remember. Yeah, I don't have to take note of it because I remember how annoying it was to get break even after that trade. And then I remember watching ICT. So it's just like, it'll be really easy for me to remember, oh, this is when I should have this like take profit a bit higher. Um, it makes it meaningful to you. All right, so we've taken out those highs there. I said that they were relative equals, so I thought there was liquidity there. The S&P has not come anywhere close to them. So like I said, this is looking good for shorts. If you look at the S&P, all of this is pretty smooth. Like these bodies here, these wicks, that's like relative equal lows. A lot of people that have gone long at market open have their stop losses here, here, maybe here. And I think they need to get wrecked. So anything above here is a high probability short because we're above midnight open, 9:30 open, 8:30 open. It might want to run towards Asia's high. Gonna make this like that. Anyway, that's me chatting shit about how I look at price. I can sit here in silence until a short shows up or whatever. But um, what were you talking about on the phone before? Oh, not on my YouTube channel, bro. Not on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm not getting political. I can't. I can't do it. Yeah, well, murder is bad, war is bad, petrodollar should crash, but I'm not going to comment on DEI or any of those sensitive topics because I might get murdered. I am scared of censorship. I can teach you something real quick. Remember when I said like this would be a breaker and you got the inversion here, it should send price lower. That's only if other things line up, and the 5 minute didn't line up. As you can see, what's happened now is 5 minute made a fair value gap, it ran into it, rallied off of it, kept going higher. There was still liquidity to be met as well. So you have to it's like that trade I just showed you. The reason I entered so low was because I'm gonna post it. I have to speed it up and stuff, but I was watching price. I was like, okay, it should go lower from here, but it's not good enough for me to enter yet. Like I have specific requirements, and that keeps me alive and stops me from like I don't trade emotionally like at all anymore. It's not even hard. This shit's easy. Making money consistently is something I'm still tweaking because I've got to figure out like what days to avoid. Like today, Monday, I literally should avoid today. It's not going to be good. I could. I mean, one reason, like one example of it not being good is how 8:30 and midnight open, they're not like really close to each other. A lot of the time on a good day you get like midnight, 8:30, and then like you get like prices ran up here and then it just, goes straight down. Because like the two opening prices are here, but we've got this thing where it's like midnight's here, 8:30's here. Um it's like a large range between the two. I still would take shorts in this situation. We're gonna have to wait for Asia High to be taken. It looks like the S&P is slowly catching up. I would like for the SMT to stay intact, but if S&P catches up, it's probably just a trend day for both of them. Um, and in those conditions, you can't really catch any longs. But with some midnights here, so we opened, London manipulated below midnight open, consolidated for a bit, and now we're retracing. So to me, yeah, it's probably just gonna keep rallying all day. And because we're at all-time highs, there's no like liquidity target. So the only things we can really look at is like these are the Asian range, like duplications higher. Um, there's like other ways you can find like standard deviations. Like on the daily, this moved down in price, which we've now started coming up from. I mark that out and then I have projections higher from that. So we got like, and as you can see it, like the first, this is plus 1.25, plus 1.5, 1.75, and this is double. So this is like that move down, it duplicated all the way up. That's there. So as you can see, these are daily candles. Comes up to 1.25, retrace, up to 1.5, find support. So now it should be heading to 1.75 and potentially um to like a duplication of that, not today, but over the week. And price at all-time highs also likes to go towards big figure numbers. So 25,000 is there. So when you can't find like highs or lows to target because you're at all-time high, things like big figure numbers. So like today, I think we're gonna reach 25,000, which would be here just because it's a big figure number, and then Tuesday leading towards the rest of the week will continue into this. And market's a joke at the moment. It has been the whole time I've been learning how to trade. Like, why does it just go up when everyone is starving to death? Like, what I don't understand. Honestly, like, this is nothing. Do you remember tariffs and the stock market crashed? This was the tariff crash. From like February to April, this was when everyone was saying, "Oh, the stock market's dumping," and then it just since the 7th of April, the Nasdaq has gone up 50%. Typically, the stock market usually goes up about 7% on average every year. Nasdaq since April has gone up 50%. Just saying. In the last year, so what, like September last year? Yeah, from here. Oh, well, to be fair, yeah. So it's gone up more since April than it has since last year. But yeah, let's go back to the 5 minute. So my opening price liquidity model that I described to you, it doesn't work on trend days. So I recognize trend days and then I just don't target like what my OPL model would ask me to target. I wouldn't trade today anyway, but like I wouldn't go long up here. Like the move's already, the move's already begun. There's no target for me. It's all time high. Like above this high here is the highest price Nasdaq will have ever traded at. Of course, I'm not going to buy it. You know what I mean? So, so I have to just watch. I've already locked out anyway, but the only thing I can do is look for shorts, and they aren't showing up yet. That's the best thing. Like that's the best way to keep yourself contained is like you set out a framework, you look at price, blah blah blah. I tend to do it like an hour or two before market open. I put it in the Discord and then I frame an idea. And most days I'm only going to trade either long or short. When you can frame longs and shorts, if you're just trading like IFVGs and you're like, oh, this one's a long, this one's a short, which you see me do, you will lose. So the like it's really hard to learn how to just sit and wait for like an A plus setup, but if you just limit yourself to like I'm only gonna short today, this is the liquidity I'm targeting, this is the framework, then you wait for that to happen, and if you don't get it, you've just sat and watched price for 2 hours and you didn't lose any money and like you can't complain. Um so what's the time? So we're in the 9:50 macro. So the next 5 minute candle will be the start of 10 a.m., which is your silver bullet. I'm still looking for shorts. I'd like to see this 5 minute candle close below here, which would create 5 minute order block. Um, and then I'll see what the 1 minute's doing because if it creates like a nice displacement lower, what we got 1 minute, 2 minutes for that 5 minute candle. If it creates like a sharp displacement lower, maybe we get below what I was looking at as a breaker. Then I'll look in that leg down and see if there's a inefficiency to like take a short in. I'm gonna because that'd be a silver bullet setup basically is like liquidity below it displaces, but I always wait for a 5 minute order block and stuff as well. Um, it'll make more sense if it plays out and I can show you. So Asia high has been tagged as I said it would. Those relative equal highs have been tagged, which I'll just delete. They don't need to be there. Asia high has been tagged. The S&P hasn't. It's taken London highs. It hasn't taken its Asia highs yet. Um, so we'll wait and we will see. And like I said, I wanted that change in the state, that 5 minute order block, but we got 1 minute and it doesn't look like it's going to close there. Instead, it looks like it's just balanced that range and it's coming higher. That's midnight open. So it's just like dropped below midnight open one more time, reacted off of the upper wick here in this area, and it looks like it just wants to continue higher. Um, Potentially to take out this high, which was formed at like the end of the day on Friday, like 3 p.m. So yeah, to me this is a trend day. Like even when 8:30 opened, it just wicked below once, took out these lows, and then just rallied. 9:30 open, rally. Um, you can't take a long in this unless the range is rebalanced. So like this is below this is discount. So you can't long here. If you still have higher targets, you'd have to wait for price to get into discount, and that's not going to happen. You can short to discount as well. Like you don't have to target like London low or whatever. You can short just to the midpoint of that range, because price does rebalance to discount, so you can do that. But it probably won't rebalance until it takes this high here. The S&P is still weak. I do sometimes look at the Dow, which is the other of the three. The Dow's really weak. Yeah, so they're all roughly the same, but like the Dow is much weaker. It's weird because the Dow took out all of these lows, which and it's dropping. Uh, I expect it to go higher, to be honest. I mean, can I look at the DXY on here? No, bloody top step. I'll do it on here. I usually have my other screen set up, but I haven't bothered. Um, Dollar has equal highs here. It's rebalanced this range. I haven't got a great read on the dollar, but I guess I'd favor higher prices, which is good because I'm looking for shorts on the Nasdaq and they're inversely correlated. Um, that's when I look at the dollar, I'm just looking like if I'm bearish Nasdaq, am I bullish dollar? Um, I wouldn't say I'm bullish or bearish either asset. That's why I'm not trading today. But like, especially if we were to close above this, invert this, we'd be climbing higher. It looks to me like it's swept these equal lows, rebalanced this range, and wants to take these equal highs here. Um, which if dollar starts rallying, then Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones, they'll start coming down. I don't demand that they come down. I just know that the only possible trade idea is a short because of where we're at. Um, I can get rid of this because the new range is here. I can drag these out a bit as well. Also, that if I just get rid of these, that new there's that new week opening gap. So we came back into it. Where's 10 o'clock open? So this is 10. So silver bullet hour starts now. But I wouldn't look for a silver bullet long. Silver bullet is just like the move has already started. You've still got a draw on liquidity, like a place that price you think is heading, and then you just take the first fair value gap that you see. Um, in this case, it would be a long to this high, but again, I'm not. It will like be supported by all of this, and it will take out this high. Like it's gonna do it in the next 3 minutes, but again, like that's the thing with trading is you'll see like trades all the time, but they're not like you're not going to touch them because you're supposed to manage yourself and stuff. It's hard to describe like why you wouldn't touch them. Um, yeah, yeah, pretty much. But watch it. Price won't get any lower than this before it takes this. Not my YouTube channel, bro. It's actually totally fine. Oh yeah, I'll have it. I'll have it. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, yeah, I do. I need to buy bits for it. I'm gonna go to the toilet. I expect it to be supported by that line that I just deleted. I expect it to take this, but yeah. But a good setup, like say like we leave that there and we drop down, we come all the way down here, then now we've got these equal highs, and if we come down here, we can take a long up to them. Gave me a skin face. I don't know. He was like an older dude and he's balding. Remember what I said? Look, I said price will be supported by that before it takes that. Yeah, because I read every single individual candlestick like a G. My guy. Like, it took out this 15 second. It took out this low into this fair value gap, which is right where that little line I had on was. Then it took out that high. Um, so now, we're above all the opening prices. If I were to, right, we're above all the opening prices. This is 9:30. This is midnight. I don't know why I've dragged it out so much. But and this is 8:30. We've got London low still, and the S&P hasn't taken this out. Now what we'll do is we'll look at dollar. It's consolidating, so I want to see it start pushing higher because that will give me more confidence for a potential short. Um, like I said, we still got the S&T, so that helps. That's good. The S&P is the weaker asset. This looks like liquidity to me. It looks like people put their stops there. All of this really, but we're too like bullish to really demand that. Um, but the short could potentially show up. And when it comes to like silver bullet setup, you simply just need a sharp displacement, massive fair value gap lower, then you just take a short. When the conditions are right, like I just framed all the reasons why, we're above the opening prices, blah blah blah. So oh, yeah, boss man gave me a skin fade. I can put my camera on. No, I was gonna mention you to him. I was gonna be like, oh, my brother comes here. It's wet at the moment, but he I know. I ain't never had a haircut like this, bro. He did a brilliant job, and he cut my neck, and he felt really bad about it. And so I asked, "How much do you want?" And he was like, 20." And I was like, "Do you want 25, mate?" And he's like, "I'm really sorry about your neck." And I was like, "It's fine." Yeah, there's a little cut on my neck, bro. I don't care. Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is like I do my beard myself. So I said to him, I was like, "It's already." He's like, "Yeah, we'll just he just faded it for me. I'm pretty good with my beard." I think it was Nas. Like he's 30 and he's got like short curly hair that's slightly balding, but not really. He mentioned it. Middle seat, middle seat. So I'm watching this. I want this to make a big gap. I work Tuesday 6 p.m. until like 10. Wednesday same. Thursday I don't work. Friday I do 5 until like midnight. Saturday and Sunday I'm in all day, and Mondays I'm off too. So I want this is a sell side imbalance. This would be a silver bullet short. All right, so we took out the high, we got the SMT. Um, what I'll do is go on the 1 minute, get rid of everything. I don't want any drawings. They get on my nerves. All right, I'm not going to short at that gap. I'll short here. This is going to be a breaker. So if I sell, oh, I'll log into paper trading. I'll just market order. Let's do 5. Put my stop there, 220, and then this is our range. So my take profit, if I bring it there, that's 345. So I'm just shorting to equilibrium. I'm not demanding like London low or anything like that. I mean, I've got 5 on, so um I can this is so annoying. Why is TradingView like this? I need to place a partial. How do I don't even know how to do it. Let's do that. I want I want to take off 3, but not there. I want to do it. Oh, this is fucking. Give me a minute. So here, that's the equilibrium. Then confirm that, and then my final TP will be at the lows. Confirm that. So this is our trade. It's a paper trade. It's weird that I'm using Top Step to do my drawings and then TradingView to do my um I don't know. I have good drawings on Top Step. Like they're all preset, whereas I haven't really set them up on TradingView. So this is our silver bullet gap. I want it to stay open. Um yeah, we'll just and watch the trade. I can draw the gap. Keeping in mind like I'm shorting at all-time highs. It's a low probability trade. It's the day that I said I wouldn't be trading. That's why I'm doing it on demo. So these are the two PD arrays I'm looking at. The bearish breaker, which is this down close candle, because it goes low, high, lower, low. I've just marked out the low of that candle. And then this is the fair value gap. This is also a breaker too. Low, high, lower, low. It's the breaker inside of a gap there. So I expect price to just drop from here. It's 10:14, so the new 15-minute candle is about to open, and we've come up, taken out that high by like 1 tick, made a divergence, and we're about to close. And I'd want the next 15-minute to. We've got this 15-minute gap here as well, so when we take out this high and we need to rebalance this gap, it might want to tick into that. So it's another reason why I'm confident with the short. Yeah. So my stops at exactly. I confirmed moving it down, bro. Why is TradingView so weird? There. No, I was gonna move. I work in Southsea. I still live where I live. I was gonna move and then I decided against it. I've got really cheap rent. Oh, no, I don't want to move in with Dan. No, nothing. Me and Dan don't fight. I don't think it'd be good me living with a mate. Like I'm 25, turning 26. I've got work to do, and I'm better off on my own. What I want to see now is so we've come into this gap here. I want this one to stay open. Like if it gets tapped into, I just want the lower half to be tapped and for it to quickly move from it. But what I really want to see is these up close candles. I want price to close below them, and then the up close candles will be a bearish order block. And so then I'm protected by that gap, this gap, breaker. And if we displace again, then I can move my stop. Like the more premium arrays we create on the way down, I can move my stop. And if this limit order where I take off 75% of my position, if that gets tagged, then I'll bring my stop to break even. So then I've taken profits and then I can't lose any of those profits. So we're tapping into that gap now. I don't want it to close above the midpoint, and I really want the bodies to close here. We've got 5 seconds. there was an SMT here. We took out this low, and the S&P is stronger. Bearing in mind the S&P still has that long-term high to take as well. So if the S&P's got a stronger SMT and it's still got this high to take, both assets could start running higher, and that would cause my trade to be stopped. There's two reasons why today's a bad day to trade. It's a Monday with no news. Most of the time, you shouldn't touch those, which I'm trying to get used to doing because I tend to trade every Monday and lose. But also at 12:35, a chairman of the Federal Reserve is speaking, and every single time there's a Federal Reserve chairman speaking during the day, the New York morning session is absolute ass. And it will just like take a high, take a low, consolidate, take a high, take a low, and then traders get chopped up, which is why I'm not trading today. Because we closed in the higher portion now, I really just want it to fucking displace quickly because it's in too high of a premium, you know, and I want it to close below this up close candle and then dig through this gap and get back below here. Um, but if you ask me to place a bet, I would bet that I'll get stopped out. The last line of defense is the midpoint of this wick, which my stop is above. If it gets above that, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't take this out. Otherwise, I'd put my stop there, but I haven't because I think this is where the setup gets invalidated. So we've just closed above, which could be bad, coming back to the midpoint inside this gap. So it needs to show like a lot of weight to the downside because this is like this is bullish order flow basically, so it just needs to show me like that it's quick to just disregard all of that and head towards the targets. We've had that 5 minute change in the state where the down close candle closes, creates these up closes an order block, and then we just retrace back to it. And I want to see in 18 seconds this 5 minute candle close. Preferably, I want it to close below the midpoint of that wick. So I want this 5 minute candle, and it didn't close. So I would have wanted it to close there, but it still closed at the opening price, but the midpoint of the wick would have been better. And that's why I think, well, this is just consolidation. There's no reading this. I'm likely to get stopped. This is likely to be acting as an inversion fair value gap, come down and up, but this little gap between these candles is a volume imbalance. If the bodies stay inside of this, then like maybe I'm safe, but like I said, it's likely gonna stop me out. It's like bullish price action on the 15 second. This on the 15 second, if we were bearish, this specific high wouldn't be taken. Like you could have your stop there. I don't raise I suppose I can raise it by $5, but yeah, I don't raise my stop once I've lowered it. But this high, if my draw on liquidity is right, this high shouldn't be taken, and we got stopped. So price is going to continue higher for the rest of the day. Um, and that's why you don't take silver bullets on a no news Monday with Fed Chair speaking. But like I say, it's a trend day condition. On the 5 minute, we came down, tapped that gap, created an SMT, and now the S&P is going to head towards its respective target. There's like a silver bullet long on the S&P. Um, I could take it just to show you. I wouldn't usually. So this is now a long and short. If I bought 10 there on the S&P, I stop there, confirm. I wouldn't typically flip after losing, but this is just we've still got that drawn liquidity on the S&P, whereas the Nasdaq has taken it, but they both confirmed to me that we're in a trend day condition and it's just going to keep going higher. So down, up, down. This is a bullish breaker. You've got like a gap here. Whatever you want to use, just like I know that this is the draw. So we lost 200 and this trade should make us 537 if it plays out. I don't usually trade the S&P as well, which sometimes it's nicer because it doesn't move as much, but sometimes it annoys me because it doesn't move as much. Yeah, boss man did me a fucking. I showed up and he's like, "What do you want?" And I just said, "Well, I had my haircut like 6 weeks ago, and I just need the sides sorted out and a bit off the top." He's like, "How short though?" And I said, "I don't, because I don't know the grade numbers. I guess like a two or whatever. I don't know." So I just said to him, I was like, "I trust you. Like, you do what you want." He's like, "I think a skin fade would be good." I was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Have you had before?" I was like, "Yeah, I've had one before," but I didn't expect him to like leave so much on the top. Like a Gen Z. Yeah, I've got a Gen Z haircut now, where I've got like fucking messy fringe and fucking skin fade. No. Yeah, our granddad has been to the Pentagon. You showed me that video. He's had clearance. He's had clearance to go in the Pentagon and do work and stuff. That video you showed me, the first one, yeah. We've driven. He's driven me past the Pentagon. He's like, "Oh yeah, to your right is the Pentagon," and I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I didn't see it, but we were right next to it. I'm not about to talk about that on my YouTube channel. I'm not about to be called an anti-Semite. Any conspiracy about Israel, I'll be slated. I don't want to. When he comes into your room, bro. Did you say something mean about Israel? I'm gonna come into your room. I'm gonna kill you. All right, this is good. I want this to push price higher. This gap, even though it's small, that is the silver bullet. Um, wicks into the midpoint. What is the 5 minute looking like? Looks like we could be consolidating. Me too. I've got trade in and then I've got work at 6 until close. It's not that bad. Yeah, that's what happens though when you work. You- Yeah, I mean, it depends how much she wants to bring, because I know you as a bloke can bring like travel very lightly. It's a good thing I didn't trade today. I'm glad that demo trade lost because it's just proved to me that I shouldn't have traded today, and I'm glad I didn't. This long I'm taking now, even though I could frame it, I would never fucking take this. Like all-time high SMT at the highs, after a loss, split switching bias, like that's just I'm not allowed to do that. I can show you my journal. This is how I journal. Look at this. This is cool. It's a calendar, and like they've all got screenshots, so it's really easy to flick through them and click on them. And then you just click on it, and it's like P&L, P&L two because I got two accounts, minus 200 on one, plus 400 on the other. Then I explain my shit. This is like my idea. This is the plan. This is before I even trade. This is the screenshot of the plan. So this is sick, right? Hang on, because I'm a genius. This is what I post in my Discord. I'm like, all right, this is what it could do. This is what it could do, and then the actual screenshot of what it did. Um, wait, let's have a look on my Discord analysis. So I drew this. I said we're going to rebalance down here, and then I'll take a long, and then I reply to myself, and then I just show what it did. Rebalance down there, and here's my execution. I took a long. Like it's like there's no one in this Discord, but every single day, like I give such incredible value. Like I prove it. I'm like, all right, look, I actually engaged in that. Bought there, sold there, sold there. And I said it's gonna come down here below Asia lows and London lows, and then we're gonna frame along. And that's what it got. So I'm sorry. I don't even know how he even comes to that understanding. Yeah, I did geography GCSE. What's the physics of a sandwich? Mm, funny. Do you wanna be a mod for my server? I don't know how it works. But have you had a look at my server? Like, it's pretty decent. Um, it's pretty clean, and I make sure that no one can message in like my Tix Hub bit. Um, look at this! Look at this omelet I made today. Watch this. See that? Fucking, that is the hardest omelet in the world, mate. Because you gotta. It was half cooked on the inside. I cut it open. Watch. Oh, wait. Oh. Is it just showing the chart? Oh no, I was trying to show you my Discord, don't worry. Anyway, let's keep watching the charts because the trade's playing out. You can look for it yourself. I took off half of my position because obviously that first loss, so I managed to make back like 30% of that first loss. And then this stop loss will help me make back 50% of that first loss. And then we can end the day either up or 50% of that loss recovered. I want to go to Italy. Like the moment I stack these funded accounts and have some consistent months, I'm just gonna book time off from work, go to Italy. You should become a Rocket League mate. Oh my God, it's great. You should just you should plug your handle on the stream. Yeah, put my stream on. Nice. Yeah, it is. It's amazing. I'm just watching this trade play out. I think it's gonna hit as well. My my journal template's pretty good. I could turn this into an app. Yeah, with AI. There's a company, there's a guy who's doing one. for- we could do something. Journaling app where it uses AI, yeah. What's the time? 10:36. I was just talking to myself. It's 10:36, so I expect this target to be met and then I'll close off the stream. I expect it to be met in like relatively soon. Uh, Like when I took that short on demo, I was pretty confident it was going to lose as well. I was just showing you like this is what I engage with on a day where I would be trading, and then I was able to show you why I didn't trade today because you got to see the trade lose, and I'm also now showing you how to recover a loss, which you know I do even though I'm broke and I work as a chef, I really fucking know what I'm doing. I really fucking know what I'm doing. Oh, I know, I know. I just do it slowly. Like, I haven't been funded in like over half a year because I said to myself, I'm not going to get funded unless I do it consistently. Because what's the point in getting funded? And then once you're funded, then you start having to like trade properly. Why not just pass the account properly? And that's why I developed like a whole model and a whole system. But I've just been building it all summer, pretty much. Yeah, imagine how much you would know now. Nah, I'm kidding. You went through a bunch of moves and stuff, but you can get there. All right, it should start rallying to my target like really fast now. Like it shouldn't take time. If it starts to take time and stay in the same sort of area, then I'm likely to get hit like with a stop loss. But if it starts to push, I haven't checked DXY, which is dollar. Um, So I was wanting the dollar to come up and close through this, and it did do that, but that was in line with my short idea. And this is another example of price being nasty on a day like this. Is like usually they're supposed to be like dollar up, risk assets down, but it's bad price action today, and they're both moving up together, which they call it like a correlated market, and it's not supposed to be like that. But when the price action is clean, you get like a really clear like dollars inverse correlated with the S&P. It's like really just and the Nasdaq is just easy to read. It's not easy to read today, and as you can see, like, yeah, there's a gap here, but all of these candles are sharing the same range. Most of these candles are sharing the same range. It's not clean. It needs clean price action makes gaps and runs fast to its targets, and but this is high resistance, basically. That's what you call it. But I could. Is it worth raising my stop? If we close anywhere here above all this and make a gap, then I'll raise my stop to here, which would secure me a 90, like nearly $100, which would be like 80% of my loss altogether. And then I'd end the day only down like $23 on demo, obviously. But if this take profit hits, we'll end the day up like $120 after losing 200. So uh-huh. And we only totally risked 400 because this second trade was a $200 risk as well. So I like that. I'll bring this here and it should be there. And I expect us to just rally to my take profit now. So our stop loss is an extra 100. We bagged 60 already. So then if that gets hit, we'll only be down like $30 for the day. If this gets hit, we're up like 120, 130. Like I don't do anything with this that's like silly anymore. And I don't have to try either. Like, I fell apart last week after like the Charlie Kirk thing. It wasn't just him getting shot, but it was like the media and like seeing people so separated and fighting and understanding that the powers that be wanted us to have a civil war. It messed me up a bit, and I kind of like detached from my identity and stopped like following my trading rules and stuff. And I just kind of I wasn't like, oh my God, like what's going on? I was like, oh, this is happening. And I kind of just let it happen, like let time do its course. And then I just started again, which is fine. I didn't blow like loads of money. I just sort of plowed through a couple accounts and just didn't care. But that's just because I watched that dude fucking his neck turned into a fountain and I've seen it like 200 times. Yeah. And I don't think it's left versus right at all, but the people that support it are fucking, yeah. We're all supposed to agree that murder is bad. They're still running higher. It's gonna react. It's gonna tap off of this. One standard deviation of the Asian range for Nasdaq is there. And I think when Nasdaq hits that, S&P will hit this high that I'm targeting. Nasdaq's already taken that high, but S&P is yet to do so. So at first I was reading that as like a bearish SMT, but the moment I realized, like when my short failed, and the moment I realized, yeah, we're definitely trend day condition, then I knew that the setup was on the S&P because it still had that high, whereas Nasdaq didn't have that target. Um, so we're still going up towards that high. I can that right. So now I'm totally break even on the day. If that stop gets hit, no loss at all. If the take profit gets hit, a little bit of profit. I'm using this down close candle as an order block, this little tiny gap here, and then these wicks, all to protect my stop. Because we're so close to the target, I don't expect much of a retracement. I expect just bang, and then it can do what it wants after that. And because like my stop is where it like makes all of my loss back, I'm happy to have that there. It's really easy to like not have an emotional reaction to a loss. Obviously, this was demo, but if you saw me take a real loss, I don't care because like I just did the thing that I do every day, and one time out of 10 it'll lose, you know? And the loss is like I enter the trade knowing that I'm risking 200, so why will I be Pikachu face when the 200 loss gets hit? Like I press the button and I say, here's my risk. And so why on earth would I freak out if the risk gets hit? Do you know what I mean? It's like putting £10 in a fruity and then being like upset that you don't have that £10 anymore. Like you chose to do that. So if I make that choice, it better be the right choice. And I don't mean right choice like it's going to win. I mean, would I have taken that trade any other day? Yes. Okay. I didn't do anything wrong. If I can look at it and go, I lost because I forgot about this or I didn't do this the way I should have done, then it's a bit different. But if I just do what I would have always done, and if it wins, that's what I expect. If it loses, I know that I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow, and it's likely going to make the loss back. Um, I can walk price like a dog. Like I can read price like a book. All right, now we can secure some actual profit it with our stop as well. I'll bring it there. It should hit our take profit. This little volume imbalance, this order block, it wants to use that to just quickly take our take profit and then rally. This is my least favorite part about trading though, is when it's so close to your take profit and you're just waiting there sweating, usually like, come on, come on, come on, come on. But even though you only slightly understand the concepts, when you watch me do it and you watch me talk about it, like it's no doubt that I'm gonna save our entire bloodline. Like that's not even remotely a question, is it? So most traders like reach consistency 2.5 years in. next month is year two, like the start of year two. Well, as in the start of year three. Next month would be like the end of my second year. I can really feel it, like that I'm getting there, that I'm arriving. Um, and I don't try. I sit back and I'm on this like wave of just like follow my system and results are like not a part of me. The results just come. That's TP. Okay, that was TP. It just didn't fill. But you can see that was my TP. It just didn't fill. Didn't spend enough time there for it to fill. There we go. All right, cool. Boom. So we took a loss. I explain why that loss was likely to happen. But if we go on account history, so 22nd is today. What the fuck is all this? Hang on. What day is it? 22nd. So why is it saying I've taken at midnight? Oh, I was on my phone. All right, I was trading on my phone last night, demo trade. All right, forget that. So, and this demo account started at 50,000, so my realized P&L is 1.4K. But anyway, today we took a $207 loss, and then we took a $68 win, and then a $268 win. So we're up 130, 140 bucks on the day. Took a loss and then took some wins. Um, hell yeah! And like I took half the position off here. Could have held it up, and that would have made like 600 bucks. But because I took that loss, I took half the position off here. But yeah, that's the day. This is when I typically stop trading as well. So you can journal it. I don't really. I just like no trade Monday. P&L 0 0 idea. Potentially a trend up day, but if the setup is there. I think I'll make a video like how I journal and I don't know, unprofitable kids will watch it. I'll close the stream in a minute, we can just chat and chill. Um Pros, sat the session out, used economic calendar to determine probability, as in like there was no news today, so it was low probability, so I didn't trade. Um, framed a short and understood why it was low probability, reclaimed losses with MES silver bullet long to all-time high. Cons, none. When I think there are no cons, I like really sit and think, and I'm like, am I being true to myself? But yeah, like none. Everything I did there is how I trade, so none. Like you're supposed to lose. Win rules followed. Screenshot. Uh, the screen. So you're not at work today? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, what did you say? 4 till 10? Yeah, four's a bit annoying because it is just sort of like it's like an ADHD freezing thing people say, right?